Okay. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're coming in from around the world. We are in Johannesburg, South Africa, in the middle of a crazy thunderstorm. We were just on the phone with Zoom with Joan Monjoy, and she kept on hearing these boom. It's like
Fireworks.
it's like yeah, it's not New Year's Eve yet, so it's like so the fireworks. But we're excited to obviously be on here. So again, if you got people that are supposed to be joining us, please reach out to them and get started. But again, once again, we're Greg and Men of Warm Beer. Obviously, we're in Johannesburg, South Africa right now, so it's in the evening time. So hopefully you're jumping on, might be in your afternoon, might be in your morning. But we're going to be talking about today the X39 stem cell activation patch, and this has been a game changer for us. For my wife, I'm going to have my wife share real quick, and then we'll get started. So.
Yeah, so welcome to everyone. And if you are here and you don't see your guests, please just shoot them a message, let them know that we're on. I see a lot of familiar names and faces, so welcome, good to see you. For South Africa, I know everybody's in this holiday mode because tomorrow is actually a vacation day for South Africans, so a lot of people had today off as well. But wherever you're at, we just know that what we have our hands on is too good not to share.
Yes.
We cannot stop share. We cannot not share this. And the thing is, everybody needs this. And whether it's vacation time, Christmas, New Year, people are busy. We're having conversations about this.
Every day.
We're having conversations about people feeling so exhausted. It's end of the year and they're really tired, and we have something for you. You've
right.
got to
I
hear
have a solution for you.
You've got to hear all about this.
Yeah.
So you know what, it doesn't matter what season we're in, this is something for every season, right? And we're not medically trained, but we have, over the 3 years that we've been involved with this company, we have heard of so many amazing testimonies, so many miracles that people are experiencing. Just today, an advocate friend of mine here in South Africa, he's been using the product, and he said to me, Mena, he said, my knees are not hurting anymore when I go for long walks, And he's an advocate, very difficult to please because, we all think very logically, show it to us, prove it to us. But he's quite surprised, and he's loving the fact that his knees don't hurt anymore. So whatever you need from this evening, whether it's product information, company information, or whether you're wanting to find out about the opportunity, this is the right place. And if you're here for the first time and you're coming to check this out, do get back with the person that invited you, and they will have a lot of answers for your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the interesting part is I'm going to play a video in a second, but it's going to explain more in 3 minutes, and I could probably explain in 30 minutes, even though I talk very fast. But the biggest parts of this is that we didn't know anything about the company, didn't know anything about this product until some people from our church talked about it, but they still didn't explain it. And then our good friend Ken and Diana Burke came to our house, and he shared with us how this works, everything else. And when he shared that a good friend of his actually had a car accident, but she had even surgeries. I didn't even have surgeries, but I had a car accident, and her pain was gone in a week. I was like, okay, I'm interested, because when I had a car accident, injured my neck, my shoulder, my back. Later on, I had a knee injury that affected my right hip. So I said, I'll try anything. Well, 3 days later, no issues with my knee, my hip, my shoulder, my neck, my back. I'm like, what in the world is this? How does this work? Looked at all the information that they sent us, and after 2 hours of research, I felt like I hit by lightning. That's what's going on right here. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like real. This is like, wow, this is like real. This is like, oh my goodness, technologies can change the world, and it is changing the world. And so it's pretty amazing. We got now business in 41 countries around the world because we can't stop sharing it. So what I'm going to do is share my screen real quick, but we're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, the product itself initially, and then talk about the opportunity. But I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to play a video that explains a little bit more about the team that we work with and everything else. And like I said, it's going to get some great information for you. So let me play this real quick, and then we'll get started.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything. A patch, no bigger than a quarter, built not to treat symptoms, but to wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 2 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
Awesome. So one of the things that we obviously love to do is love sharing that video specifically because, again, it gives a lot more insight to obviously the company, the team that we're a part of. It's not just about a product, it's once again about a movement. And that's one thing I talk about. So I'd recommend, if you're already a brand partner that's on here, I'd recommend getting out a notepad, taking some notes, kind of hearing more about, once again, what we say, how we say, things like that. And those of you that are actually seeing this for the very first time, we recommend doing the same thing. Take some notes so we can answer some questions, because the person that actually invited you will be able to answer some questions regarding the product itself and also about that. So first, we're going to talk a little bit more, about the product itself, because that's the part where I got very excited about the opportunity, but I got also very, very excited from a product standpoint, because there's nothing like it in the world. So the very first thing that we did is we started researching the company. I started researching I saw the videos and everything else. I kept on hearing about David Schmidt. And David Schmidt at that time, we had heard he had over 130 patents because he stopped talking, basically saying he stopped counting after 130. But literally, he just got recognized about 6 months ago of having over 200 patents. So he realized now he got over 200 patents. So he's a scientist and inventor, specializes in age reversing. Actually, I always say thank God for people that do that. They take their lives and dedicate it to actually helping people like me, my wife, all the people that are on here. And in 2008 focused attention on stem cell research. And when he focused attention on that, because he knew that was basically the biggest thing that was going to help people to reverse age, not just age, what they call anti-aging, but age reversing. And this recent product took 10 years, $4.5 million worth of research and developed to come out with this one product. Now, when I talked to my wife about this, she was very skeptical. She goes, "I'm not interested. Don't put a sticker on me," because she kept on saying, and I'm like, try it. Trust me, I'm doing great. And then she realized I wasn't moaning and groaning anymore. But then when she saw the patent, that's when everything changed.
Yeah, and so very skeptical as an attorney, didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, what was a little sticker going to do for anybody, really? But Greg's results were undeniable. And I thought, oh my goodness, because I was hoping he wouldn't have a result.
How bad is it?
And when he did have a result, it was like, oh my goodness,
My prayers trumped her prayers.
something's
Anyway, so-
happening. And I decided to take a look at the website, and I saw this patent, and I understand patents. Some of my colleagues specialize in registering patents, and you cannot have a patent on a product unless it's one of a kind. So I'm like, there's something here. And then I started to look at this, and I saw this paragraph, and it had some things in here that actually resonated with me, because I was dealing with inflammation. And I was taking collagen products. I was drinking shots. I was taking collagen powders, looking for the best collagen. There's so much out there. And so when I read this particular paragraph, I saw, I read about phototherapy, and I knew something about light therapy, that it was healing, and that it elevates copper peptide, which I didn't really know a lot about, but I had heard of peptides, and includes activation of stem cells. I thought that's got to be good for us. Improvements in energy, which we all need, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain. It had done that for Greg. Improvement in stamina, elevation of our collagen production, and improved wound healing. And I thought, oh my goodness, if this can do a few of those things for me, I'd be very happy. But, I was excited about what was going on, and I thought, I don't want to miss out. I'm going to go ahead and participate.
Yeah.
And so why X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, I didn't know this, but I thought stem cells were just good for the outer appearance, hair and skin. But I've since learned that stem cells hold your entire body together. And as we age, also something I did not know, our stem cells become dormant. At age 30, only 50% of the stem cells are active. And at age 60, less than 10% of our stem cells are active. So, hey, you know what? There are a lot of people that are hitting their 30s, and people around us all over the world. Why not? Why not share something so natural that can help them?
Absolutely. And so the interesting part about this too is that if you think about opportunities happen by creating solutions. So David Schmidt created a solution. So, but again, the current problems that are out there is that no one knows their stem cells are becoming dormant. And really, in reality, we're all feeling it, right? So I was talking to a guy who's just 30 the other day, and he's like, yeah, I'm 30 and I shouldn't be feeling this way. I said, well, you got half the stem cell activity you used to have, because I had no idea, right? And so what's the solution? We offer stem cell reactivation. And the second thing is, so many people are struggling financially. So that's a problem. The solution is we create an income generating business that can help, a lot of people, which is great. So how X39 works is really simple. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. So phototherapy, if you think about it, we experienced phototherapy earlier today. I was out in the sun, so the sun's rays hit your skin and elevate things in your body, basically like vitamin D, right? We get vitamin D from the sun. Pretty much everybody knows that. But the difference on that, it's the sun's not pushing out vitamin D. It's pushing out a frequency of light that interacts with our skin, which is our biggest organ, that elevates vitamin D in our body. Well, it's the same thing with this patch. It's got patented nanocrystal technology that basically reflects our own body's heat and light. There's no drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants. It reflects our own light to activate, and it's non-transdermal, so nothing goes in the body, and it's not invasive. So basically, the light from our body, because if I put night vision goggles on, we all glow in the dark, right? So the light hits the patch, reflects back into our body, and elevates and activates the things in our body to basically make things work, which is the copper peptides that activate the stem cells, which is huge. And so that's the part that I was very, very fascinated by, because I had no idea technology like this even existed.
So the benefits of X39, all of these that are listed here, we've experienced them, and even more than that: increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle. In fact, we were sitting with someone yesterday after church, and he kept forgetting where he was in the conversation, and we were telling him, this is going to really help you. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improved sleep, big one for me that I had no idea would even happen. I wasn't even expecting it to happen, but I'm so grateful that my sleep is absolutely amazing for the last almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And before that, I couldn't sleep at all. And I just thought it was normal,
Yeah.
Lifewave
Very light
products.
sleeper.
But David, he talks about us achieving optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And we have to give the disclosures. It's important for compliance that Lifewave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition.
Yeah, and one thing I think we both need to do is we have like a profile in all the benefits that we've seen. Mine would probably be 2 pages because of all the benefits. Like my wife had, again, her fingers like sausage. She had red and
Very inflamed in my hands.
Yeah, and red itchy skin, and I mean,
it was terrible.
She never wanted me to hold her hand, and that was the one thing that because she said, "Oh, it's irritating me."
I mean, I remember
Yeah.
many years ago speaking to Marlene Clayton, because I see John and Marlena on here. And she actually recommended it because I was struggling so much with allergies and terrible things. And so she recommended a tea for me, a herbal type of tea, and that would help. And, all these things kind of helped a little, but it never got to the underlying issue.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been forever that I've not needed to use steroids for my skin, and for many, many months, I don't have the issues anymore.
No, it's been
so
amazing.
it's just amazing.
Yeah, and so the other part is the long-term study. So the long-term case studies, again, is at the very beginning, 4,000 genes begin to reset to a younger, healthier state. So really your body goes into this reboot, which is amazing. So, and I use the example to I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't even understand this. All I know is that they said we got about 12,000 genes in our body. So a third of our genes begin to reset to a younger, healthier state. There's other things that are out there that reset genes. And they said, like resveratrol, that's in red wine, that people said, drink red wine. It's actually good for you because the resveratrol. Well, they're using this now in a lot of supplements, and that's their hero product, the resveratrol. Well, it does reset genes. It resets 2 genes. This resets 4,000, just a little bit different, right? Very, very powerful. So what happens within typically about 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. That is absolutely huge. So we've been able to, I had brain fog from COVID back in 2021. And in 2022, I was still suffering from it. And Lily was like about 5, 6, I don't even know, it was maybe 2, 3 weeks later. Actually, it was earlier than that because 2, 3 weeks later, I felt like I walked out of a cloud. I'm like, I can think clearly now. The fog is gone, right? Pretty amazing what happens. Collagen levels increase typically several months later. We've seen 2, 3, 400% increases in collagen levels naturally, without drinking supplements and doing all the other kind of stuff that you do. Heart reverses in age. We've heard up to 8 years younger within 6, 12, 18 months. It's pretty amazing the difference. So that's why David Schmidt says this is not anti-aging, it's age reversing. That's a very bold statement to say that, but he can back it up scientifically, and we get proven over and over and over, and you're going to feel it. That's the big difference. So how we wear this, the X39, basically we wear it for 12 hours, basically so your body elevates, activates, and regenerates. So I put mine on 9 o'clock in the morning. I was actually out at some stores today talking to people, contacted several people. I was out in the stores, which is a very easy conversation to have, especially when people ask me where I'm from because my accent's different. Because they're like, where are you from? Are you from the U.S.? And they say, I want to go to the U.S. I said, really? Well, what's your game plan to do that? Well, I'm hoping someday. Oh, well, hope's not really a strategy. We have a business and we can help you actually get to the U.S. Really? How does that work? So it's pretty interesting. Anyway, so 12 hours a day, elevating, activating, regenerating. And then what you do at 9 o'clock tonight, my alarm's going to go off and basically an hour and a half, and I'm going to take my patch off, throw it out, put in a new patch the next day. Because at night, you need to rest, repair, rejuvenate. So preferred places, back of the neck. If you feel in the back of your neck, there's a bump on the back of your neck, that's a preferred place because it's a C7. That's where your central nervous system is connected to the rest of your body. Another place is below the belly button is a good place, but you can put it anywhere. If you got an issue with your right knee, slap it on your right knee. If you got an issue with some brain fog, stick it right in your forehead. No, don't do that. I'm just kidding. So, but you can put it anywhere. So the big part of this is just wear it, and the other part, drink lots of agua, lots of water. Right? This is actually very good mineral water. In South Africa here, they get all mineral water. It's very rare to find purified water. In the United States, purified water is rampant. It's everywhere. Nothing wrong with that. But they strip out everything, including the minerals that you need to basically detox and everything else. So you must mineralize. We got products we recommend and different things we recommend for that Celtic salt. We've got a product, Cellulargize, that we use. I highly recommend mineralizing because it will make a difference in the results that you get. So the testimonies we have are very, very emotional, honestly, very life-changing. There's certain testimonies I have a hard time playing because when I play them, I literally have some challenges emotionally because I get really emotional because I've seen the differences, in people. So some people say, well, are doctors using this?
Yeah.
Yes. thousands and thousands of doctors around the world. This is just an example of one of them that's actually in Tampa, Florida, near where we live. We got a chance to talk with him about this because he's an MD and a plastic surgeon. Again, pretty qualified, right? And so people flying from around the world to basically do his special procedure he does with these lasers, basically for facial plastic surgery. So what he does is basically the lasers remove layers of skin, do all kinds of damage to the skin to basically have your body naturally kind of heal after a while. But it takes 6 to 8 weeks for healing on average, a month and a half to 2 months for healing. So he heard about this and he started sending people a patch 30 days prior to the procedure. Now the recovery time is 7 to 10 days. Think about that. Instead of 6 to 8 weeks, now 7 to 10 days. So once again, he says, if you want to work with me, you must use this product. Another person, Dr. Leland Stillman, he's actually down in Naples, Florida. He's another person. I can show you doctors from around the world, but again, very very well versed in phototherapy, understands how this works, and he's an expert. But he's like, what's this little patch going to do? And they started utilizing those sort of patients and realizing this is a game changer. Now he's like, if you want to work with me, you must use this patch. So I was going to play a quick video, but again, I do recommend looking at This Is It info and looking at the testimonials page. At the very top on here, you can do the same thing on the phone. We drop down menu. You basically see it says like testimonials. You'll be able to click on each of these different things and watch the different videos. So I'm going to give you some homework for the next 48 hours. Watch 3, 4, 5 videos, and you might go, "Oh my goodness, this is a game changer," and it really is. And then feel free to scroll through the site, look at the patents, look at all the stuff we're talking about, and even the medical doctor section at the bottom. But this really is a true, absolute game changer.
So LifeWave, the company, when we got started, we didn't know that this company had been around for 20 plus years already. And we in over 75 plus countries. But I do believe that we're in more countries than that, because they mentioned at our
corporate event here.
Our corporate event here in South Africa, 87 countries. So
Yep.
It's just amazing how so many people are finding out, and the product is being shared worldwide. Now, when the company, at the time that the patent was actually registered, the company was sitting at about 20 million US in revenue. And then this product, the X39, comes to market, and we see progressively like a lot of growth in volume, turnarounds in dollar amounts, hitting different growth in dollar amounts. Okay, so 2022, 320 million US dollars, 2023, 430 million US dollars, 2024, 600 million US dollars, and 2025 pushing to $1 billion US dollars. If we don't hit it this year, early next year, we're going to be hitting $1 billion US. And you know what? It's just because X39 came to market.
Yes.
I mean, whatever we had in the company prior to they were only selling up to about 20 million US, in volume. But here we've increased because of X39 by 980 million US dollars. What does that tell you? That the product, people are using it, people are sharing it, people are experiencing it, and they cannot stop sharing.
Yeah.
So, we when we got started, it was around about 2022. So 2022. So we've seen all of this.
Yes, we've been a part of it.
We're part of it.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to stop anytime soon, because there are billions. David's mission is to get this into 1 billion homes.
Yep.
1 billion homes, and we are all going to help him do that.
Absolutely. And that's once again, how do you do that? You get millions and millions of people to share the word into billions of homes, and that's how things, and this is going to happen. We're going to become tens of billions of dollar company in the next few years. It's pretty amazing.
So LifeWave is now ranked number 1 in momentum per businessforhome.org, growing and surpassing many, many countries. I mean, we've won the Bravo Award for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And just recently we got this Biotech Breakthrough Award 2025. It was awarded, which was really amazing. It's Stem Cell Innovation of the Year. And amongst thousands of nominations from over 15 different countries, LifeWave got the Biotech Breakthrough Award.
Yeah, and that's what we tell people. We're onto something big. It's like this is amazing. This is the biggest breakthrough in the medical industry in the field of regenerative medicine ever. And now we get the actual thing to prove it. I mean, we've been saying that for a long time, that this is the greatest breakthrough. And once again, we got the Breakthrough Award. How uncanny is that? It's pretty amazing. So the real thing about this is the system that we have allows you to duplicate your efforts. And really what we're going to talk about is really a business strategy of what we do, how we do it, everything else. But I really want to have you think, first of all, what's really important in your life. And I really want to take some time on this today because I want you to understand that this is the key to you growing a business, you growing in life, you accomplishing your dreams, is keeping your dream in front of you. And a lot of people have these massive dreams in the future, but I always say what's going to motivate you tomorrow and today is the next dream. So whatever your next dream is, that was for me. I mean, for us personally, the number one thing I wanted out of my job. That's a fact. I wanted out. I was willing to do whatever it took. Once again, we actually made a decision, and I started putting other things on the shelves. I started saying, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do that. I can do this stuff later. I'm focusing on my job and I'm focusing on this business, right? So it's God, family, my job, and then it was this business after that. That was a priority, and my goal was to get rid of this so it could just be God, family, and business, right? And so the big thing for us, what drove us specifically, was time, family time with our family. We're here in South Africa right now because my whole wife's family's here. We're going to be spending some time with her brother and her sister and sister-in-law and a bunch of other family members in the next few days. Actually, over the holidays as well, all these different things, because we can do that. I always tell people, if you quadrupled your income, how would your life change? And I want you to think about that for a second. You can pick the number. You could 10x your income. You pick whatever it is, but I use quadruple because that's what we've done. So within 14 months of the help of my wife, the help of God Almighty, thank you, Jesus, and the help of our team, literally, we replaced my income, and several months later was able to fire my job. I didn't get fired. I fired my job. I was actually right here, so I was sitting right in the back room over here when I called my boss, and he goes, are you still in South Africa? I said, yeah, I am. He goes, are you coming back? I said, yes, I am, but not to the company. And I told him, I said, yeah, I'm making more money part-time. You guys can pay me full-time. This is my resignation time. So I just told him that. And so the interesting part about that is that since then, we've quadrupled our income, almost quintupled it now. So when you understand what's happening, and that's just in the past 2 years, it's been less than 2 years now. So if you could quadruple your income, what would that mean to you and your family? What would you do with that extra income? How would your life change? Would you feel more secure? Would you have more security in your life, basically financial security? Would you want to travel more? Where would you want to travel to? We're going to talk at the very end about some travel, but that's for like us. We love traveling. My idea of traveling, my wife's idea of traveling is a little different. She wants to get to a spot, plant there for like a week. To me, I want to visit 10 different places in the same week, right? So, but everybody's different. Like on the way to South Africa, I spent a day in Paris. I spent the whole day there and then got on the plane and flew to South Africa. Why? Because I love it. It's just, people are probably looking at me going, why is this guy grinning? Because I was just smiling. I'm just walking around smiling because I'm like, the food's great. This is great. That the lights are there. They got the Christmas markets and everything else. I'm like, this is awesome, right? And so one thing is that whatever you enjoy, what would you like to do? How about better health? How about helping people with better health? A lot of you, I know, as far as I'm here, want to help people. If you're truly serious about that, you're not going to be afraid of picking up the phone. You're not going to be afraid of reaching out to people. Those people who are just getting started and people that maybe just hear this for the first time, I guarantee you know some people that have some challenges, right? You also know some people that have some financial challenges. My key thing to you is don't be selfish. You now have an opportunity, and you got the greatest opportunity in the world to share with people. We have the greatest product that's ever been developed in this kind of space as far as regenerative, to actually help people. And we get an opportunity for financial wealth for people that want to do that. The next one is less debt. How about zero debt? How about being debt free? Like the word for me that's not on here should say independence right across the board. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be financial independent. I wanted to basically be my own boss. BYOB meant something different for me. Be your own boss, not bring your own whatever stuff. You know what I mean? So that's really why I want you to write down, and even over the next few weeks, be very specific on the goals you want to accomplish in 2026. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk real quick about a couple of these different areas. So do you want to talk about this one first?
Yeah. So we have a binary compensation plan. Mm-hmm. So what that means is we build two teams. We build a left team and a right team. Okay. And it's as simple as that. When we help people get started, we tell them, the first thing we tell people to do is make your list.
Yep.
Like everybody, that is how you build this business. It's people. If you do not have people, you don't have a business. And that's with any business. I mean, it's not an uncommon thing just for this particular business. It's for every type of business. If you're in sales, or if you're in the medical profession, or if you're in the legal profession, or you're whatever profession you're an accountant, what does it
If you're
take?
a mechanic, it doesn't
takes,
matter.
yes, so it takes people. You're a hairdresser, it takes people, right?
Yeah.
So what we do is we make our lists and we go out there, we share with people, we tell them, hey, you know what, we've come across something that is too good not to share. I have to tell you about it. And when they say, yes, I like what I'm hearing, we're going to place one left, one right. And no matter what it looks like, we're building this left, right, left, right, left, right, okay? Because you want to have two strong legs. And you'll see here on the left, you're going to see paid rank, because people start to make these binary bonus earnings at 3-star manager. So some of you on here that have been with us for a while, if you've not yet hit the 3-star manager, you're not getting these binary payouts, okay?
Yeah.
But when you're at 3-star manager, you can max at $1,500 per week.
Not bad.
That is $6,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, some people are not earning that in their job, you know. So,
I was going to calculate it times 17 in South Africa.
but all the way down. So as you start to hit the higher ranks, you can max at higher earnings per week. What is that?
102,000 rand
102,000 Rand
a month at the 3-star
for
manager.
South Africa at 2-star manager if you're maxing
bad.
on the binary,
Yeah.
which is not bad at all. So as you start ranking up, 3-star presidential, you max at $25,000 per week. Per week. Now, it doesn't just start there. It doesn't start with one person or 2 people or 3 people. You got to keep talking to people, and Steve Merritt, this is a team leaders that we're mentored by and coached by, said to us, 20 left and 20 right personals.
Yeah.
If you have not yet done the 20 left, 20 right, you got to get it done. Because
And they said within 90 days, and that's what we did.
and because you've got to see, you've got to find the leaders who are going to do what you're doing, because this whole opportunity is about duplication. Duplication, people doing the same thing all the time.
Exactly. And so what we're going to talk about now is 1 to 2, because there's 1, 2, 3-star manager, 1, 2, 3-star director, 1, 2, 3-star executive, 1, 2, 3-star presidential, right? So what's interesting is that the 1, 2-star manager, where's that at? Well, that's where this next one comes in. So we want to help you do what's called a launch bonus. So to get you to 1-star manager, you get started and you put one on your left. This could be your best friend, and this could be basically a brother or a sibling, right? Doesn't really matter who it is. Could be anybody. Could be your next door neighbor, whatever it is. But you put one left, one right. Now by doing that, you're now known as a 1-star manager. As a 1-star manager, you now can make up to $25 a week for the next 9 weeks. So for people that are already involved in the business, we have several weeks left. You can actually qualify for this, start earning these bonuses as well. So what's nice about that is that you getting started, it's just an extra little perk, which is kind of nice. Now what happens, we call it out of the gate in 48. So within 48 hours, we want to help you basically put one left, one right. Pretty simple, just sharing with people. I typically say you guys share with probably about 10 people to find 2 that say, I want to sign up now. That's pretty typical. But you don't just text them information, just send them a website, get on the phone, call them. Because that's the biggest thing. People need to hear your excitement, and we're going to give you some kind of verbiages on a couple of things that we recommend. The second thing is that, once again, we want to, it said out of the gate in 48 and then left and right by Monday night. So we want to help you add another one to the left, another one right. So within the first week, you're now already the second rank in the company, which is a 2-star manager. Now you're also making a $50 bonus on top of what you're doing. So again, that extra $50 bonus on top of the money you're making on this too is pretty huge. And I'll kind of explain that as well. So when I heard that they're offering now this, because this wasn't available to us, they just launched this back in the beginning of November. So when they launched this, I'm like, this is brilliant. So brand new people, they can start making up to $200 a month on a residual basis for the next few months. But that's a belief builder, right? So because that's for a lot of people, they go, well, I'm not making any money. Well, we're going to help you do that. For us, we started making almost $3,000 the very first month, because we went out there and shared with a lot of people. We recommend doing the same. The benefits long-term on this are massive. So what happens now is that when you understand, you can actually earn up to $20,000. Now hear this, earn up to $20,000 per week, per person eventually. Now it doesn't start there. It starts at basically a 5% bonus and then a 7% and a 10%, and it starts growing from there. So what happens is that these different levels, as you start growing, you hit different levels. So we hit the highest rank within the company during the previous compensation plan. There's a called the senior presidential director. God blessed us with that. It was like awesome. We hit the highest rank in the company over a year ago, about 14 months ago. Well, the interesting part about that, they've now added 3 new levels, a 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star presidential. We're very happy about that because one of the bonuses is a $50,000 bonus.
And then 100,000,
Then
and then 150,000.
No, it's 175. Sorry, so 50, 75, 100. She wasn't.
75.
She's trying to take money out of my pocket. No,
They're going to make it 150.
So it's 50,000, 75,000, and 100,000. But at the 100,000, they give you 2 Rolex watches as well. Not a bad thing, right? Is that going to happen overnight? No, it's a 2 to 5 year program. We chose 2. That's what we chose. We hit that highest rank in 2 years. We recommend you do the same. How we did that is just consistency, talking to people. But the reality of what's going to happen, it's going to be an 80-20. Out of the, say you sponsor even 20 on the right, 20 on the left, 20% of them are going to be the builders. 80% are going to do a little, and 20% of the people are going to run. That's reality of anything you do, even with an amazing product like this and a compensation plan like this. So what happens as soon as we start somebody, and just an example, like starting somebody in the business, our goal is to help them become as most successful as possible. So I'll use Joan as an example. We want to help Joan. We were just talking to her just before this meeting. We want to help her maximize a compensation plan. Our goal for you, Joan, is to help you make $25,000 a week. Why would we want to do that? I don't know. Well, they're compensating us a matching bonus right now, 18%. In the next few months, we're going to be basically 1-star presidential, probably in the next 6 weeks, 1-star presidential. And by doing that, now what happens is that by doing that, we get 20%. I don't think you're complaining. So if we help you make an extra $10,000 a week, we're making an extra $2,000 a week. If we help you make $25,000 a week, we're making $5,000 a week, right? Not a bad compensation, right? So our goal is to help you become as successful as possible. Now, Joan says, I got people I want to start. And then once again, generation 2, let's say Joan starts and helps 10 people. Now what happens, she's got 10 people. She's paid out the level based upon where she's at for those 10 people. Now imagine these 10 people finding 10 people. That's now 100 people in generation 2. Now, what if each of these 10 people find 10, each 100 people find 10 people? That's 1,000. You can extrapolate out the numbers. We can go 6 generations in depth. That's tens of thousands of people you can get a percentage on. And if this number's here, even just say 1,000, imagine getting 15% on 1,000 people. My eyes get real big because I'm like, oh my goodness, that's how people are making over 100. I mean, Steve and Jerry are making almost a couple $100,000 a week from the business. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a second. They're going to be making over $1 million a month very, very soon if they're not doing that already. Now, again, they're exceptional. I can't guarantee that for you. I can't even guarantee you a penny, but I want you to understand this is an opportunity of a lifetime. You go out there and share with people as much as you can. I say share with at least 5 people a day, 5 new people. And again, I can go out right now, go to a store and meet 5 new people, you know what I mean? But a lot of you already have all these names already in your phone. Yes. and you want to talk to those people, right? So again, so this is one thing. You can make as much money as you want. This is unlimited. You can make millions and millions of dollars a year on this if you choose to, but it's going to take time. It doesn't happen, overnight.
So if you look at conventional business as opposed to what we have our hands on, which is the Lifeway business, conventional business, for those of you who are in business or who have been in business, it really is a high startup cost. You got so many things to take care of, and it's on a monthly basis. Like literally your overheads, all your the things that you're needing in your office to take care of business. Very, very high startup costs, whereas our Lifeway business is a low startup cost. We actually took our credit card and we paid for our package. We made that back in 2.5 weeks. That was it.
You paid that off,
and every month every month it's $200 a month.
That's it.
That's our overheads.
Yeah. So you think about cost comparative.
High risk in a conventional business because you don't know. It all depends on you. Are you going to make it or are you not going to make it? Whereas Lifeway business, there's no risk because we are surrounded by all these people that are winning and willing to support you to actually get to the next rank. Long hours in conventional business because it all depends upon you. Yeah. Whereas Lifeway business, we make our own schedule. We decide. Like if tomorrow I don't want to do anything because I've got a family thing on.
Oh, I thought it was some sort of holiday tomorrow. So I'm taking the day
tomorrow
off.
is a holiday. But anyway, if you decide, if you're not going to, if for whatever reason you're not going to do anything tomorrow, you might double up the next day, and that's just your prerogative, But the whole thing with what we do is being consistent. Trial and error. in conventional business. You may not make it and you just try again, or maybe you don't try. Whereas LifeWave business is, we have a proven system. And if we look at every single one that has hit the highest rank, it's just because they've just been doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting good at doing the basic things. Limited earning potential in conventional business as opposed to unlimited earning potential in the LifeWave business. I mean, we just have so many positive things that are for us. And I mean, even if you are working a job right now, take a little bit of time. You know, the one thing that we, at the corporate event, they said about 12 to 15 hours that you spend on this business. You do, but right throughout the week, we're talking about a week, okay, 12 to 15 hours to actually hit the highest rank, but be consistent at it, you know. So it's a business that you do not all day, but you're doing it every day.
Yeah. Because I've had people say, well, how much time have you put in? I said, I put in as much as I can. But again, it's still very limited part-time by comparison. It's not like 12 hours a day I'm working on the business. No.
Well, we have options.
Yeah, because you know, can, yeah.
And the other thing is now, because we have a really big team, we are working with our team people. You know, it's not just our personals that we're trying to find.
It's fun. And that's the best part about this. We have so much fun enjoying working with people, you know, and helping people. That's the part. If you really enjoy helping people, this is it. So how we get started, very, very simple. We have basically an app on our lap. I move all my stuff around because we're doing it from the office over here. But basically, you got an order form that you have, and we got an order form and link that you can go to. But I always recommend filling out the order form is the easiest way to get people started. Send this to them via email or a text, and they basically can print it off and fill it out. That is the best thing I recommend, because then we tell people, well, would you rather pay retail or would you rather get it wholesale? I still have had nobody say I want to pay retail. I mean, if I find somebody out there, I'll let you know, but I still haven't found anybody. I was like, I want it wholesale. I've had a few people say, what's wholesale? I said, it's a better price. So they get the better price. But in order to get it wholesale, you got to basically buy one of the packages. And one of the packages is that if someone says, I just want to try the product, this is basically a beginner packet for someone who just wants to just try the product. I always say it's like if you're on a bicycle, now you got training wheels, right? So it's not gonna really make you any money. You can only make $100 a week with this package, and that's it. So you want to be on the advanced plus, or the premium. But here it's only $100 a sleeve, less than $100 a sleeve. Where now when you get the advanced, you get it for less than that. You get it basically for $535 for 6 sleeves, which is basically like $89 a sleeve. So calculate times 17, it gives you the RAND plus adding 15% VAT and shipping, like what's it, like $8 shipping, whatever it is. So keep that in mind. This is this is really the beginner pack. So this is a good, better, best. We picked the best one. We said, you know what we want to do? We want as much product as we can. Ken Burke said to me, he said, if you had 10,000 acres of land with fertile soil ready for seed, how much seed would you want? I'm like, give me tractor trailer loads, because we're going to have a harvest. And he says that I recommend the biggest pack. I said, that's what we want. Because I even told him, I said, we can't get anything bigger. He goes, no, that's all it is. It's the biggest one you can get. And he said, after that, you're covered even for 90 days. Yeah. So they give you enough points that you're covered for December, January, February. You don't have to buy any product till March, in this case, March 15th. So what's nice about that is also going to save you money. So it's the best bang for the buck out the door. And then in March, you basically are just going to get on 2-sleeve auto ship, and that's it. I get a sleeve, my wife gets a sleeve. I'm like, you don't touch my sleeve, I won't touch your sleeve, right? So she was like going in my stock the other day. I said, stop it, leave me alone. So anyway, so the cool thing about this is that you just get started at whatever level you want to get started, and you can always upgrade if you want to. We've had people just this past week upgrade to different levels because they're like, I want to take advantage of the lower pricing, which just makes sense. So if you start at advanced, it could go to advanced plus and then go up to premium. If you got the wherewithal, I've had people that are on here that have taken loans out. Some people use a credit card, but some people didn't have enough credit card. So they say, hey, I'm going to get a loan. They take a loan to do this, and we help them make that money back within 30 days. Now, I can't guarantee that. I can just tell you that if you're willing to work and you're willing to allow us to work with you, we can help you make that money back like that, literally. If you think about it compared to traditional business. But treat it like Steve Merritt says, treat this as if you just invested $500,000. Yeah. You just leveraged your house, you leveraged your car, you leveraged your spouse, you know what I mean? You leveraged everything. Now you got to perform. Well, if you treat it that way, guess what happens? You're going to perform, and your business is going to have results like you've never seen before, and you're going to start making millions of dollars. I mean, again, it's going to take some time. And when we talk about quadrupling my 6-figure income, it's been pretty good. You know what I mean? It's pretty awesome.
So the wonderful thing is, that we literally have all the tools that we need to succeed.
Yeah.
We didn't have to try and figure this out on our own. We were given the tools, and this is at info.com. We've already gone over. That is the website that you share with the doctor and you share with the stay-at-home mom. So everyone in between can take a look at that and get all the information that they need, and nobody purchases off that site. It's for informational purposes, but it's absolutely amazing what we've been given to share with people. This is a team.com is the website that we use for educational purposes, like how do we do this, so that everybody's learning the same thing at this, together. Nobody's been left out. Nobody's given a little bit extra. Oh, well, we want you to be more successful, so I'm going to tell you the secret. No, the secret's out. Everybody has it, and it's on thisisateam.com. The system is there. There's short tutorials on how to go as 1-star manager, 2-star manager. It's all there. Exactly what you need to do. The blueprint has been given to you. So no one has an excuse, And I would say, if you don't know what's on that website, do take some time to go look at it. If you went to college or you went to school, university, you had textbooks and you had to go and study those things, really. To go and write the examinations and to actually pass at the end and to get your qualification. So this is the same thing. Go and study it, find out what's there, and learn how to help your team get to the next level. And then we have this now come to the place for those of you who have not yet made the decision. And maybe you have made the decision, but you just need to put your stake in the ground and say, okay, today everything changes. Okay, maybe things are not working the way that you thought they would work, and you just want something to change for you. And I heard somebody say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what do you have to do to move ahead? Okay, yeah. Well, some of you need to get started. Some of you have already gotten started, but you need to activate. You need to now launch your business. And so there is a difference. The launch date.
Yeah.
So some of you need to launch, get on that runway and look to reach for the stars, right? But it's now time to make your move. And are you serious about your dream? Because we have, I always tell everybody, I share hope.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sharing. I'm sharing hope. Hope for,
a brighter future.
No debt. Hope for more family time. Hope that you can travel more, hope for more security, financial security. That's what we're sharing. We're sharing hope. We actually have a lot of people around us that are hopeless. They actually go to bed without hope and they wake up with no hope. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And if we can show them how to get what they want, this is it.
Yeah,
this is it.
It is. This is it. So the last thing for this is what we tell people all the time is that we've won we've earned. We guys use the word earned. We earned 8 free incentive trips. 2 were team trips. 6 were actually from the corporation in the past 2 years. They just offered a new one for those of you in North America, Los Estados Unidos, Canada, Mexico, and the whatever territories we have, Puerto Rico. We're going to be going to Honolulu, Hawaii. We just had someone qualify for over 150 points yesterday, which is absolutely amazing. We're going to talk about that at the next level. Don't say who it was. And so again, the cool part about this is that we're actually going to be going to Waikiki Beach right in Honolulu. It's been one of my dreams ever since I was a kid. So it's been a dream of mine for over 50 years. Well, pretty close to 50 years. Ever since I knew what Hawaii was. And again, where we're going to be staying is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So again, for those of you that are in Europe, in South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, guess where you're going to go? You're going to go to Budapest. This is going to be absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite. I mean, I've read about this city a lot, and it's amazing. Just their palace there is amazing. It's one of the most beautiful palaces in the world, and just the river there and all the places. But you're going to be staying at one of the top hotels in Budapest. People come from all over Europe to go there to go to their spots, one of the top rated spas. Guess what you're going to get? Spa treatments. How many people like the idea of a free spa treatment? I'm sorry, an earned spa treatment, right? I mean, all kinds of stuff that you're going to be able to get a chance to do. Yeah. So if you like the idea of travel where the company pays for everything, this is it. It's pretty awesome. So
and you still have like 2 months and a week to actually get points.
Yep.
To go on these trips.
Yep.
So it's not over yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so the last thing that next week I'm working on a special guest speaker. So again, we're gonna have someone that's gonna be coming on, not speaker, but a presenter. So again, I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I'm working with them right now to try to see if that we can basically get that to happen. But trust me, you're gonna want to get everybody you can on the Zoom next Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock South Africa time, because you trust me on this, you're going to want to be on here. So again, put that down for next week. I'm going to highly recommend that you basically share this with as many people as possible. We can answer questions for how to get people started. So again, if you're on here for the first time or seeing this business for the first time or second time, we do recommend taking notes to basically put some questions down so we can answer some questions. And so the best thing we're going to be doing is actually in the next few minutes, in actually 8 minutes, we're going to be starting a training. Those of you that have got the information for that, please jump on. We're going to be talking about how to contact basically with what's it called? Confident contacting, confident conversations. And that's really what it is, because that's what we're doing. Every day we're having confident conversations. We're confident in what we have. We get the ability of, and when you do that, you get results. And we're going to be talking about that. Plus we got a lot of recognition, which is kind of cool too. So the only thing, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add real quick, but the one thing we know is you've heard us say this before, but there's a lot of uncertainties in life. Just put on the news. There's a lot of uncertainties that are going on in the world. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We're just praying for some things going on in Australia and all over the world right now. But there's a lot of uncertainties going on. But the one thing that we know for certain is this is it. So God bless you guys. Have a great night. Have a great day. Again, take advantage of this amazing opportunity. And we'll see you on the training in about 6 minutes. So God bless you. See you soon.